Peru News Today. All you need to know about Peru.
Ana Estrada, the first Peruvian to agree to euthanasia. Ana Estrada, the first Peruvian to agree to euthanasia, died after a brave battle for the right to a dignified death. The patient's lawyer, Josefina Miró Quesada, indicated that the activist left on her own terms in accordance with her idea of dignity, after 4 years of struggle. The activist Ana Estrada, a patient who suffered from polymyositis, a degenerative and incurable disease, died last Sunday, April 21, after exercising her right to euthanasia, making her the first Peruvian to access this procedure after a brave battle for the right to a dignified death. Her lawyer, Josefina Miró Quesada, confirmed in a statement that Estrada died on her own terms and in accordance with her idea of dignity. The medical intervention was carried out in accordance with an isolated protocol, which was previously approved by the Social Health Security, EsSalud, after the Judiciary issued a historic ruling in its favor, on February 23, 2021, which was later ratified by the Supreme Court on July 14 and 27, 2022. Ana left grateful to all the people who echoed her voice, who accompanied her in her struggle and who, unconditionally, supported her decision with love and empathy. In particular, she thanked the public officials who were part of the Ombudsman's office at the time and defended her when the institution sponsored the case, the lawyer wrote. In that sense, the lawyers highlighted the fact that the Peruvian justice system was able to recognize for the first time in the country's history that we all have the right to die with dignity. Ana's legacy will live in the minds and hearts of many people and in the history of our country. Her family and loved ones celebrate her life, and we appreciate the expressions of solidarity, support and understanding towards Ana's struggle, she said. Previously, in January of this year, it had been confirmed that the professional psychologist would have the possibility of choosing the doctor who would assist her when the decision to agree to euthanasia was made. This could be achieved thanks to the fact that EsSalud issued a resolution accepting the observations that Ana made to the procedural protocol. A story of struggle. In February of this year, Ana published a letter addressed to her lawyer on her personal blog, where she recalls what the beginnings of the fight for a death worthy of her were like. In the text, she remembers that in September 2019, Josefina informed her on Instagram that the Ombudsman's office offered to take the case. Later, they were able to have a meeting with Percy Castillo, former Deputy for Human Rights of the institution, in the room of the Intensive Care Unit, ICU, where the patient was. "You told me you would come with the document to make it official. You arrived early, I remember your entrance, you were wearing a jacket with a beige bottom and lines of squares, that's how you are in my memory, your long hair still wet and half a ponytail, your smile stayed here forever. We review each line together. To put fingerprint and date. It's my birthday, I told you. Your smile again," writes the activist. In the same way, she mentions that there was an especially difficult moment for her, when the judge who was supposed to execute the euthanasia sentence decided to abstain from it out of decorum, in February 2023. At that time, Judge Silvia Isabel Núñez Rivas, of the 11th Constitutional Court of the Superior Court of Justice of Lima, argued that she acted in this way because she considered the right to life to be part of her essence. However, thanks to the Ombudsman's office filing an amparo action, the Judiciary ordered, in February 2023, that the Ministry of Health, MINSA, and EsSalud proceed to respect Ana Estrada Gardy's decision. Ana's effort to remain firm in the face of her decision to leave on her own terms was rewarded this Sunday, April 21, when she was given the treatment for which she fought for several years, both in the media and in the courts. What illness did Ana Estrada suffer from? Estrada suffered from polymyositis, an inflammatory disease that causes muscle weakness and can affect both sides of the body. This can cause difficulty performing basic activities such as climbing stairs, reaching high places, getting out of a seat, and reaching for objects. Currently, this condition has no cure, so treatment consists of physical therapy to improve muscle strength and function. The same BBC echoed that precedent this Monday with a note in which it reported that, at some point, Estrada was so depressed that she wanted to commit suicide. She had lost everything. She cried every day. She asked, "My parents, help me die. Imagine asking your parents that. But I was recovering and that's over. When I was more lucid, I decided not to do it, kill myself, because there was a lot of risk, for my environment, for my family. It would have been a death in hiding, lonely, painful, with fear, she said. That is why she decided to demand that she be allowed access to a death with dignity. Although euthanasia is not allowed in Peru, in February 2021, the Judiciary ordered the Ministry of Health and EsSalud to respect Estrada's decision to end her life through the procedure. The organizations decided not to appeal the sentence, highlighted the CNN network. It was the first time in the history of the country that justice recognized and authorized a person's right to end their life. The sentence was ratified by the Supreme Court in July 2022. Fox News, which replicated an Associated Press report, highlighted that, despite these obstacles, Estrada graduated as a psychologist from the Catholic University, began working as a therapist, managed to care for several patients, saved, and bought the apartment where she lived, and became independent from his parents. She had a partner and raised a cat. However, in 2015 everything changed. Her muscles and even those used to breathe were completely weakened, pneumonia aggravated her condition and she spent a year in intensive care. In the hospital she learned that the worst time was bath time. The nurses were talking among themselves, but none of them looked at her to see if she was in pain. When you are hospitalized, you lose your identity, there is a degradation of the patient, she said. She dealt with depression, but when she came out of that illness it became clear to her that she had to fight to achieve a dignified death, and that meant modifying the punishment for whoever helped her on that day chosen to die. She opened her blog, Ana for a Dignified Death, where she talked about her struggles and her decision to seek euthanasia, and she became unstoppable. I become night wrapped in violet blue, I shine, she says in one of the poems she left as part of a writing workshop. Her lines had a marked feminist aroma. El País, Forbes and El Diario stress that, with Estrada's case, the discussion about access to a dignified death continues to advance in Latin America, where only Colombia is a pioneer by decriminalizing euthanasia in 1997 for patients with terminal illnesses, under certain conditions and protocols. Leave us your comment and subscribe to continue growing, and follow us on our social networks, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram and TikTok.
Peru News Today. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.